Hello and welcome to Calradia 1403 with the Bannerband submod installed as well. If you'd like to take a look at the mod list, there will be a list in the description, and indeed it will include my load order too. Anyway, as you can see, we have Swadians, Rhodoks, Nords, Vaegirs, Saronids, and Kurgits, as well as two other factions included with this mod pack. And I'm going to be playing with the Rhodoks mostly because I think it's going to be a lot of fun to actually see what's going on with the spears, polearms, various other things going on with that, as well as the crossbow gameplay, because they have also added RBM into this mod pack, and that basically means that the neck armor is very, very weak. That's something to bear in mind here. The neck armor is very, very weak on purpose, because if you want to get consistent kills with your crossbow or your bow, or even your throwing weapons, I guess, to a certain degree, then you're probably going to have to aim for the neck, and I think that could be kind of useful and or fun. So that's the reason why I'm kind of thinking that we'll do that. We're going to do scouting and crossbow there. Let's actually see if I can get crossbows maxed out as much as possible. I also do want to try to get polearms too. Looks as though we're not going to have that much, we're not going to have that much luck with this. Okay, I guess charm and leadership is probably going to be the next best thing. And then we'll go with, oh wow, yeah, we're getting pretty unlucky with crossbow skill, funnily enough. Apparently crossbows are not very well liked by the character creator. Okay, I guess we'll go with medicine scouting, because we're probably going to be the scout for our party, at least initially. So let's have a look. Throwing one-handed, polearm one-handed seems pretty good, so that's exactly what we're going to take. And then we could do one-handed, two-handed if we want to get the maximum amount of renown, of course. I'm not sure if we want to do that in comparison to doing this. I think this is probably going to be the best course of action here. You hunted a dangerous animal, polearm and crossbow, as well as points to control, valor, and indeed 5 renown. 5 renown is not exactly great, but I think that's good enough. I may want to just start at 40 years old. I think that's probably what we're going to do. And we're going to be having an F in the chat for our guy right here, because he is about to see me take control of him, and he is not going to be too pleased. So we're going to be calling him Bertild, as you might expect, and we're going to call him Barney. We're going to go back to the OG here, because we are indeed going to be seeing warband style troops and stuff like that. We're going to play on Bannerlord difficulty, as you might expect. Auto allocate clan member perks. I guess we will do that. Maybe. Should I actually do that or not? You know what? Let's not do it this time around. Let's see how it is to leave it off for the moment. And let's go. Alright, so we're already, as you can see, spawning in Jokala, or nearby to Jokala. And you can see here that the map is relatively similar. Yes, relatively similar to what you might expect to see from Warband. You can see here we have Praven, which is indeed obviously a Swadian fief. You have Jokala there, Yalen. You've got the various Saronid little fiefs down here as well, and you also have, of course, the Kurgits. And we have the Nords, and we have the Vaegirs, and then of course we have those 2 extra factions which they had to do something with, because the map is quite a bit larger than the Warband one, so, they had to do something with them. Anyway, we now have the ability to fight those looters in just a moment, but yeah, let me actually just take a quick look and see exactly what we have available here, because obviously I'm going to have to check and see what I have. Alright, so we actually do have a crossbow, so that's pretty nice. We're already starting with a crossbow. Can I use this on a mount? Yes, I can. I can indeed use this on a mount, so this is fantastic. And indeed, as you see, they do obviously have RBM stats, because I do have RBM installed, like I said before. Did I actually mention that? I don't know. But if you took a look at the mod list, then you already know exactly what's going on there. Anyway, we are going to spec into some things. I'm going to be speccing into some riding skill here. Scouting skill is already doing quite nicely. Let's spec into some athletics skill as well. And I think what we're probably going to be focusing on here is we're probably going to be doing quite a bit of scouting. I would like to get scouting as high as possible, really, but we're also going to be getting quite a lot of riding skill, quite a lot of crossbow skill, polearms. I'm not sure how it's going to be to use a spear and or polearm on horseback, but I think that's probably going to be kind of cool to do, so that's what we're going to try at least. I'm going to go for some, you know, kind of balanced attributes for the moment. So we're going to go Control 4, Endurance 4, Cunning 4, and we're going to be focusing on those 3 things for the moment. I did want to have 1 point in medicine just so that we can get preventive medicine, because that's obviously fantastic. Anyway, to actually show you a little bit of what's going on here, we're going to go into the custom series. This is a mod that is included with the download for Calradia 1403, and you can indeed now do something like this, where we can import the 1403 troop overhaul. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So immediately done. That's it. Wonderful. And now we, oh yeah, well, unfortunately for me, I am unable to recruit anyone from the town, but there you go, look at this, we have some Rhodoks tribesmen, and indeed, look at our troop tree. This is very classic warband. You can see here, we have some Rhodoks sergeants, and we have some Rhodoks sharpshooters, and these guys are crazy good at what they do, as we know, or at least we can only hope that they will be, because we don't have cavalry. And that's the funny thing, we do not have cavalry, and you can see the lords as well. I don't know whether you noticed, but there was a certain Mr. King Graveth, yes, King Graveth indeed. He is the lord of, well, the leader of the Rhodoks, of course. And you can see here we also have these fellows. We have the Vaegier Knights available, as well as Vaegier Marksmen, Vaegier Guards, and they all have very nicely balanced stats. They all look very much like their warband counterparts. So very, very cool in my opinion. I'm absolutely loving this mod pack. And indeed, we are going to be having a look at the Nords too. Look at this, look at this. We got some Nord Huskar action going on. And indeed, look at this. We also have Nord veteran archers, as you might expect. These fellows actually have really good bow skill, by the way. They have really good bow skill, and I'm talking about they have 150 bow skill, which I think is actually a bit too powerful. I think that's a bit too powerful, because you could see here that the Vaegier Marksman, which is a whole tier above, has 150 in bows, and the Nord, the veteran archer, has 150 in bows as well, as you see right there. So technically, obviously, they do have different bows, I'm gonna assume. 100-pound war longbow. I'm going to actually just see this for a second, because I'm very interested to see, because obviously the best, this is 150. Yeah, so this is obviously much better in regards to the longbow, I assume, right? It does 100 damage, 150 missile speed, and this obviously has a very, very different yeah, it has the same damage, but it does have different missile speed, so obviously that makes a difference to its damage and everything. But yeah, anyway, we also have the Sarranids, of course. We've got the Mamluks right here, and they of course have some very, very cool looking characters. And indeed, we got the Sarranid Guards as well as the Sarranid Master Archers, and these guys have 130 in bows, so they're not as good. But they do have better athletics from what I can see, maybe. And they're using a 170-pound war longbow. So they have much better gear, but they do lose a little bit of archer proficiency. However, the funny thing about archer proficiency is that you can make that up with some perks. So it's very much dependent on what you want to do and what kind of equipment you want to go for here. Now, what you have to know about Calradia 1403 is that knights in this are insanely strong, as you might expect. They are 100% purposefully meant to be very, very powerful, and it even says on the mod download page, knights are like tanks. They will overcome numerically superior units of lower tier with almost zero casualties. And so if you are looking for a very, let's just say a very realistic experience, because let's face it, that's probably what it would be like in real life, you know, a bunch of peasants fighting a band of knights. Well, the knights are probably going to win, right? Anyway, so yeah, we also have the Swadian knights, as you can tell right here. We're using the Vlandian heavy lance, heavy bastard sword, and the heater shield, and then of course we have the wonderful Swadian sharpshooters and Swadian sergeants, but the Swadian knight, of course, is the main draw there. Yes, that is the main draw. Now, there is a tournament going on here. Now, I do have RBM tournaments currently enabled. I'm a little bit worried about it, to be honest. I'm a little bit worried about it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to achieve victory here, but we're going to try. Alright, so it actually looks as though things are looking up for us right here. As you can see, it is indeed a lower tier tournament. It literally just told me that this was a lower tier tournament, and as you can see, I'm actually being placed up against people that are relatively similar to me. Now, what we have to realize here is that the Rhodok tribesmen, they're actually really good. They actually have really good stats. Surprisingly enough, they do. Oh, wow, I can't believe I missed that. Well, I actually can. I can believe I missed that, okay? I can believe I missed it because I am just this good. All right. Okay, wait a minute. I think, you know what? I think I probably just want to get out my... Oh, I've got a massive sword. All right, okay. Let me get on this mount. And let me see if I can do something here. This guy's going to shoot me in the face. Oh, no, he didn't. Oh, they're actually ignoring me for the moment. Oh, yes. Damage. There we go. Nice. Oh, no! I can't believe I got murdered instantly. Okay, well, I can only hope that my people are actually going to win this. Oh, wow. He absolutely murdered. Yeah, I have also installed the custom sounds submod as well. Basically, what that means is that when you hear something attack... you know, when you hear the hits of, you know, in combat and things like that, you're going to be seeing, you know, or shall we say, hearing completely different sounds than what you'd normally hear, and you're going to be hearing something much more realistic, because obviously it's not going to always sound like, you know, action slashy sort of thing going on. Anyway, I have these guys are so much better than I am, by the way. They have 55 proficiency. I only have 20, so I'm very much assuming I'm going to die here. Yes, that is what you'll get, sir. There we go. Okay, I'm actually really surprised that we were able to do that, to be honest, but there you go. All right, we did it. Okay, I have a one-handed little club. Interesting. Okay. Oh. Well. Let me just do something real fast. Oh, no. Oh, I wanted to teabag him. Oh, well, never mind. We're not doing that, apparently. Okay, I have to be a little bit careful here because I'm going to assume that these fellows are going to be insanely good at using their polearm. So we're going to see just how good, because my riding skill is just leaving a lot to be desired. So, you know. Yeah, okay, so it seems like I do actually have I have a one-handed, so it may very well be necessary to me to use this. Maybe I need to. Very much depends. Yeah, it's looking more and more likely that that's probably going to be what I'll do. Oh, maybe not. Oh, no, never mind. I have a bad feeling about this, though. This is the thing. I have a very bad feeling that if he manages to hit us, is probably going to murder me instantly. Because that's generally how it works, isn't it? Yeah, that's generally how it works. Okay, here we go. Okay, you know what? Let's switch. Let's do this. Let's get in close. And, well, as you can quite clearly tell, he apparently does not appreciate the attention that we are now showing him. Alright, so it looks as though I've been able to at least eliminate the mount. It's been about, I don't even know what, 10 minutes, I think. It's been about 10 minutes because, let's face it, it is pretty difficult when you're, you know, playing with RBM, especially to get a little bit more used to, you know, the way that RBM changes things, because let's face it, I haven't played with RBM for a while, and yeah, they are very, very good. They become a lot more proficient with defense and making sure that you know exactly who's boss, because they think they're boss, right? You know, so that obviously makes a lot of sense. Anyway, I think I might actually just get off my mount at this point, because I'm a little bit worried about getting poked in the face and getting killed instantly, but I think he's very close to death right now. Yep, there we go. He's out of there. There we go. That is indeed the final round of the tournament. And you missed the roll for the legendary item modifier, you missed a roll for the lordly item, and you missed the roll for the fine item. Well, that's sad. What did I actually get? Oh, I didn't see. I didn't see what I rolled. Oh, well, never mind. I think I rolled like a 10 or something like that, but there you go. Anyway, we did get bronze pauldrons with neck guard, which I have to admit, that's pretty cool, isn't it? I think that's pretty cool, and we did earn quite a bit of cash, or at least a little bit of cash, and as you can see, we can now put that on, and that's definitely going to help us in terms of body armor, at least. Doesn't seem to help us with neck armor, which is obviously the main point. You know, as I read out before, neck armor is very purposefully left quite weak, so that, you know, people with crossbows like myself and, you know, people with, you know, archery and so on and so forth can actually take advantage of it. Anyway, we're going to be getting 190 in cash there. I would like to fight some looters if at all possible. Gang needs recruits. Don't really want to do that. I'd like to fight these looters. Can we actually get closer to them to do that? That's the question. Yeah, we're out of food as well. Can I please... Can I please? Come on now.
Yeah.
Okay. We got two of them. Okay, this is a bit problematic, isn't it? Okay. Well, I have leveled up first, so let's try and see what I can do here. Okay. So I don't have a pole arm that I can use while mounted, but I think I'm probably going to be using one while I'm mounted, because let's face it, Rhodoks don't really have anyone that's cavalry, so I might as well be the only one, right? Anyway. We have one focus point to spend. I think I'm probably going to be spending it in probably riding skill, right? All right, let's give it a go, shall we? All right, I am so extremely excited to see our first battle with Bannerband and indeed our warband focused troops and everything. It's a little bit dark, which I gotta say I'm not a big fan of. I'm sorry about that. Nothing really to do about it, but yeah, maybe I'll make it a little bit brighter in the editing just so you can kind of see stuff, because otherwise, you know, it's going to be kind of hard to actually see the action, I guess. But yeah, we got to be a little bit careful here as well, because obviously the enemy, they do have rocks, and let me tell you, I'm not sure if rocks actually do massive damage in RBM or not. I can't remember whether that's actually the case. I think it might be. But yeah, let's just do this. Oh yeah, my guys are literally not having a very good time of things, are they? Okay, I actually hit that. That's pretty nice. Okay, let's head in here, do some damage. Okay, oh nice, nice. Okay, that's some pretty good damage. Oh, we're actually doing really well. Yeah, see, this is what I was talking about. Tribesmen are insanely good. I actually don't even know what the stats are like of the looters or anything like that, but clearly they are not as good. And we just absolutely murdered that guy. Okay, that was wonderful. I'm actually not entirely sure. Did I do anything? Did I actually do anything? Because it felt to me like I didn't really do much at all, but I don't know. I guess I did something. Anyway, we are going to be basically just going for crossbowmen across the board here, and we are indeed getting some legendary pitchforks. Legendary pitchforks, yes, we could definitely use that. And a legendary Western Brown hemp pillbox hat. Yes, very useful indeed. But these are actually pretty cool, actually, surprisingly enough. They actually provide me with some pretty decent armor. Ah, this is pretty good. The Worn Pilgrim's hood is better than this. Okay, that's quite hilarious. Actually, that's pretty good, to be honest, because now that we are playing with, like, you know, legendary prefixes and stuff like that, we can make a lot of money that way, you know? That's pretty cool. Anyway, what we're going to do is... I think I'll probably just head back to Jokala, to be honest. I think that's probably the closest to us right now. And, wait a minute. Hello there. We got some looters. Okay, everyone has leveled up. So, I guess, you know what? Let's do it. I'm actually a bit slower than them now. Do I care about the prisoners that much? No. I don't care about the prisoners that much. Now I'm moving faster, you see. It was the prisoners that were slowing me down, so that was the reason. Also, taking them prisoner... not sure if I'm really convinced about that. I'm not a big fan, you know, not a terribly big fan of taking prisoners this early on, because while you are going to get a small amount of roguery skill, if you have like 0 in it, you know, then it doesn't really give you that much cash, you know. It's much better, much better to go into a tournament or a battle or something along those lines. Maybe even do some trading, to be honest. I think trading is probably going to be the best bet most of the time to make some cash. And now, let me actually just take a quick look here, because I do have much more ranged troops this time. And I'm kind of hoping that that's going to be good enough. I'm going to have to get a little bit more used to using my crossbow as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I might... Are they actually coming our way? I might just go up here and do a little bit of damage with the crossbow. And because we are mounted, of course, we do have a small advantage in mobility over the opponent. So we should have an easier time. Okay, nice. Whoa, that was some nice damage. I'm surprised. What, 80? Okay. Alright. Okay, we might actually have something here. We might actually have something here, because I was a bit worried about this. Obviously, we do have to worry about later game when we start facing knights and things like that, because knights are going to absolutely slaughter any ranged centric party. But, and this is where the big butt comes in, you know, we like big butts and we cannot lie, right? Anyway, the point is, Rhodoks are obviously known for having spearmen, or known for having polearm users, and that's exactly the reason why I decided that I'd play as Rhodoks in this mini-series or special feature or whatever you want to call it, to be honest. I don't even know what to call it at this point. But I'm very excited for this, and I'm kind of thinking, hey, you know what? If we do get to the later game, we're going to be facing Swadian Knights, of course. You know, we're going to be facing Swadian Knights, quite a lot of them. And I think that in general, if we do it right, we're going to have like a, I don't know, probably like a 70-30 split, maybe a 60-40 split. Very much depends. Very much depends on what we feel is going to be best in the situation at the time. But the fact is, if we have a good amount of polearms, you know, good amount of polearm users, we are going to be able to defend against cavalry relatively, maybe relatively nicely. Maybe we could get some spear bracing going on as well. Not sure if that's even going to be possible, but, you know, it might be. And as you can see, we got this guy right here. Unfortunately for me, I'm actually not going to be taking this fellow. He has 150 in bows, which is pretty good, but he doesn't really have anything else. And the problem with that is that I'm also the scout, right? I'm the scout for the party here, even though I'm technically not yet, because my scouting skill is literally 22. It is just awful. You know, I need to do a little bit more running around and leveling up to be able to get scouting skill. But yeah, I don't feel like it's really necessary for us to get this guy just yet, and or for us to recruit anyone just yet. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell this. As you can see, we're going to get 3,000 in cash. Because of all these legendaries, you know, the legendaries are really making a huge difference here. And I'm actually wondering whether I should use this axe, but then I think, well, the range, you see, the range is not very good on that. So instead, I'm going to just do this, and we'll just take a couple of pieces here, a couple of pieces of food, and then we're just going to move on. And that's a wonderful 6,000 in cash total that we have right there. And so I am very much looking forward to seeing what is going to happen. I would like, let me just take a quick look at the Rhodoks sergeants. Yes, as you can see, they have military glaives. Look at the weapon length of this thing. This thing is going to get in your face, and you are just going to open your mouth and die. That's exactly what's going to happen right there. And obviously they have some falchions as well, just in case enemies get close. But this is going to be great. We're going to actually start getting some spearmen now as well, because as I said, you know, considering I have such a low party size at the moment, I can't really justify going for 100% crossbowmen. It's not going to be the best idea, is it? No, not going to be the best idea. But it's going to be good later on, and indeed, maybe early on, actually, to be honest. It's actually... Oh! Are they actually volleying? They're actually using volley fire right now? That's cool. Oh, I like that. That's fun. Yeah, I think they are actually doing that. As you can see, look at what they're doing right now. Are they shooting? Yeah, look, they're shooting into the sky right now. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I had no idea that they were going to do that. That's fun. All right. I'm not sure if they're actually hitting anything. That's the problem. But we can only hope that they are in some way. Oh, yes. Look at that. They actually hit something. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, I love that. That's great. Okay, let me see if I can... Yeah, hello. Thanks so much for hitting me. Yeah, I really appreciate that. There we go. There's some nice damage. Maybe we can get some little bit of interruption here. We might be able to knock some of these guys down with our mount. Yeah, I'm really bad on horseback, by the way, as you can quite clearly tell. Yeah, I'm doing very little damage too. Nice. Oh, yeah, we hit him in the neck, too. That was great. That was a nice hit there. All right. I actually, you know what? Next time I level up, I'm going to put 1 point at least into one-handed. I think that's probably going to be a decent idea, at least. And look at this. We already have a Rhodoks trained crossbowman. That is extremely fast. Okay, there we go. Anything else that we can get here? No. All right, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so let me see. Yeah, so once more, I think what we're going to do now is actually going to go to Yalen. Now, bear in mind that there are obviously going to be a couple of sieges going on very, very early on. I saw that the Nords were attacking Utherlame Castle, which is indeed obviously under control of Swadia. And it would be fantastic if we could... maybe we could go over to one of the towns if they actually do decide to besiege a town. That's the big question here, because obviously we want them to besiege a town if at all possible. Because if they do besiege a town, that's going to mean that we can, well, theoretically, we can then sell a bunch of food to them, and then we're going to have a great time, because that's going to get us massive cash. Yeah, it's going to get us a lot of money right there. All right, so otherwise, apart from that, I am just going to be continuing to recruit tribesmen. They are just fantastic. I got to say, I'm actually really impressed with the stats of these guys, because as you can see, they have 55, which is pretty crazy. They only have pitchforks, which of course is terrible, but you know, they are just literal volunteers and tribesmen, peasants, you know, so on and so forth. So they're not going to have the best thing ever. But here we have Urgion. Yes, I remember this fellow. And he actually has a task. Let me see. What can I do for you, sir? Ah, maybe you could recruit 4 Rhodoks trained crossbowmen. Okay. Bring them to the garrison for 2,100. Okay, sure. Don't I already have 4? No, I only have 1. I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. You know why? Because I'm probably not going to be able to complete this in time. I'm going to assume that I'm not going to be able to complete it in time. Where do I see my quests again, by the way? I actually forget where that is for some reason. Why do I forget where that is? Oh well, never mind. Anyway, day travel is going to be absolutely fantastic for us. That's going to help us to hopefully catch up to these guys. Oh yeah. I'm happy to fight multiple looter parties. This is going to be great. Actually, you know what? I feel like, I'm not sure whether this mod pack has done anything to the spawn rates of looters or anything like that, but it feels really good. It feels like there's a load of them without being too overpopulated. And I gotta say, I actually really like that. I think that's fantastic, because that obviously makes it so much easier for us to find people to attack. We don't have to run around for 10 minutes to find something to fight. And when we do find something, they have a decent number, you know? we're not consistently having to worry about anything like that. Look at that, 97 damage from a crossbow. That's really nice. Can we get another hit? I think we can. Nice. Okay. In the chest, 76. Nice, nice, nice. Okay. I'm actually going to charge into these guys for a real quick second. There we go. That was a nice hit. Come on now. Knock them all down. RBM at its finest right there, because generally you're not going to knock them down in the base game as far as I remember. So let's be a little bit careful here, because I can die very fast. It is very possible for me to die super, super quickly here. Thankfully, my forces are just murdering them. And indeed, my disruption. Look at my disruption right now. Just me charging in on my mount is making so much difference. Unfortunately, oh no. Yeah, we're losing a lot of people right now. I mean, they did outnumber us, so I guess it does make sense for them to actually kill us. Wow, okay, that was a bit more... oh dear, that was a bit more damaging than I anticipated, but alright, well, never mind. We did only lose mostly tribesmen, and hopefully some of these other fellows are going to be leveling up. Yes, yes, yes. As you can see, look at this. We're getting some more crossbowmen there. We're getting some more trained crossbowmen here. Great. And a legendary hatchet. That's fantastic. That is going to sell for a load. We've got some wrapped shoes as well. Anything else here that I can actually put on that is slightly better? No, no, no. It doesn't seem like it. All right, that's fantastic. Wonderful. And now we only need one. Yes, now I only need to level up one more trained crossbowman. And then I should be able to complete that task and gain 2100 gold, which is going to be very nice. Okay, so the question is, I think personally, I don't really want to use a huge amount of different units. I'd like to use mostly Rhodoks units, because that's generally what I'm wanting to do right here. I want to, you know, play thematically as much as possible. And so as a result, me going for anything that provides us with plus 30 riding skill to troops in your formation doesn't really help us that much. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to be taking charge damage. I think that's probably going to be the way to go here. It seems as though... Wait a minute. Huh. You know what? I already have a focus point in one-handed. I didn't realize this, so I think I'm going to put a point in leadership instead. I think that's probably going to be slightly more impactful for us. Anyway, we now have... How many days do we have left to do this? I can't even remember how to... How do I see my my quests? Am I that stupid that I've forgotten how to do that? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think I have actually forgotten where to find my quest log. But yeah, I guess it doesn't really matter too much. I'm just going to sell this. Wow, yeah, we just sold basically everything we needed to right there. And look at how much cash I just gained. 5,200. I am going to probably, now that I have so much cash, I might as well get a caravan, right? I think maybe getting a caravan this early would be insane. Obviously, I can't afford it right now, but I will be able to afford it at some point in the near future, right? Anyway, I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. If you would like to check out the mod list and the mod load order, it will be in the description. And indeed, you can also find the link to Calradia 1403 in the description too. Otherwise, if you'd like to see more from me and this series-ish, I don't know whether it's a series at the moment, but, you know, just let me know if you want to see more. Otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.